Hello and welcome, BitMonger family. Jay Monger with you here today. Hope you guys are all doing well. And in today's video, I'm going to give my thoughts about what's happening in the markets. As we can see, things have fallen off a cliff in crypto land, and Bitcoin has dumped, and there's a lot of fear that's happening in the market. And you want to know what? My brass balls loves the fear, because I see fear as a buying opportunity. I am still bullish long term. Nothing has changed there in terms of how I see the market going forward. And I bought the dip. And I will continue to buy this dip as it goes down further. And I'll get into what I bought as we go into this video. But first off, let's just go ahead and take a quick look at the markets and show you what I'm seeing here. So we can see the market cap has shed quite a bit. I think it got up to about 4.1. So we shaved off roughly $3 billion in this drop. And we can see these coins that had pumped earlier, Aster, Avantis, these coins, they had absolutely ripped, and now they're coming back down to earth, and that's to be expected. I'm going to be looking at Aster, and I will be looking to buy into this coin if we see it drop further, because I am bullish on that one based on what I spoke about before in my previous videos. And we can see Bitcoin is currently trading at 109,583. It's funny how people completely freak out. I mean, the only people that are really freaking out about this dump are people that recently bought. I mean, if you bought it a couple years ago, you don't give a fuck. I mean, you're up big time. So this kind of drop is expected. It's a shakeout, guys. I see this as a big shakeout before we go into Q4 and things start getting frothy. So you guys, just so you guys know, go back and look at the history of Bitcoin and look at what it's done in previous cycles. In bull cycles, it often drops 30%. It can drop up to 30%. And what it does is it shakes the weak hands out, and then it goes on a tear. So if you believe that the bull market's over and we're done, well then yeah, it's a good time to exit. However, if you believe that the bull market's still intact, then I would be looking at this as a wonderful opportunity to add to your bags. This is another chance for you guys. If you did not buy before, consider this a Christmas present. So let's see what we got here. Solana actually fell off a cliff. It's currently trading at 196, and I think it got all the way down to about 193. Let's go ahead and look at this other chart first, though. Looking at the Bitcoin chart again. So we can see it came down here. It actually broke through this midterm trend line that I had drawn. It broke below it. It looks like it might try to come back up, but who knows what's going to happen, guys. When it comes to short-term time frames, nobody has a fucking clue. And if they tell you that they do have a clue, well then don't believe them. Write them off. The only people that have, the only way that you can really gauge this, generally speaking, is by looking at the long-term trend line and being patient and having time in the market. That's usually how you win, is time in the market. So, and preferably not buying the top. But even if you did buy the top of the last market in the last cycle, you're still up massively. So it's just a matter of having time in the market and being patient, and basically buying in the bear market and buying big pullbacks like what we're seeing currently, and this really isn't that big of a pullback, and I'll get into that into a second. So right now I'm looking at earlier, so we could see the recent low. It did hit here at 107,479. This is a point that I'm going to be looking at. It might come back down here. We'll have to see. And if it breaks through that, my next line in the sand is like right around here at 105,170. That would be the next area of interest that I'd be looking at. And then if it goes below that, I'm looking at like around 101,310. And then the final line in the sand would be here at 98,379. And just so you guys know, if it does get back down to 98,379, that's only a 20% pullback from its recent, or its all-time high here of around 124,385. That's almost a 21. It's nearly a 21% pullback. So could that happen? It certainly could, guys. So buckle up, and if that does happen, I strongly recommend that you buy the shit out of the dips. Now, this is not financial advice, guys. Remember, I'm just a stoner on the sofa giving you my opinion. But so do your own research. But could it drop down to below that? It certainly could. Now, I think a 30% drawdown off of that top was like around 87,000. I personally don't think it's going to go that low, primarily because we got the ETF buyers and we got much more adoption. So I do believe if it gets down into the mid 90s, I think there's going to be huge buyers stepping in. But we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, I'm still bullish. I don't believe that this has changed. So next, let's take a look at Solana. That's my second largest bag, and we can see it did have a rip down. It has fallen off of a cliff, and initially it perfectly hit this marker that I had right here at 190. Is it 197 something? It first went down here, it touched it, and then it had a brief bounce, and then it dropped below it. If I'm looking at the golden pocket right here, the golden pocket sitting like at 192.68, we can see it perfectly came down and touched that. You can see, look at that. It's amazing how these fibs work. It perfectly came down and touched the golden pocket. Now, if this breaks through, the next zone of interest would be down here at the 0.78. We're looking at about 176.84 is what I'm seeing on here. 176.84. That would be another area of interest. And if it comes all the way down to where it broke out from this bottom piece, we're looking at about a 155. Now, could it come down there and still be in a bull market? It certainly could, guys. Remember, crypto is extremely volatile, and it has a way of shaking people out. And if you don't have balls of steel, then this is not the place for you to be. So you need to be prepared for these kinds of massive pullbacks. If you're using leverage, you need to have stop losses. Otherwise, you will get wiped out. And if you are using leverage, I would say be very careful. Do not use heavy amounts of leverage. That's how people get fucking rinsed. You know, and if you should always have a stop loss. But if you're one of those people that doesn't have a stop loss, you make sure that you got a fucking lot of dry powder, and you put some really big bids down at liquidation levels. And personally, I wouldn't recommend that, but I would exercise a stop loss. But if for some reason you don't want to heed that advice, well, then I suggest you have a lot of dry powder so you can buy the shit out of that dip. Okay, so that's Solana for you. Arrow, it broke down below 106. The next line in the sand is 90 cents, roughly 91 cents. That would be another area that I would be looking at. If it comes down to the very bottom where it broke out earlier, we're looking at 72 cents. Now, I bought this a long time ago. I'm not adding to my bag anymore. I'm still very much in the profit. So, but those are areas that I would be looking at if you're looking to acquire more of Arrow. Axlar. And as I said, Axlar is a buy anything under, I believe, anything under 30 cents. Now, I don't know, but my gut feeling is that Axlar seems to have, I feel like we have experienced seller exhaustion. While everything completely dumped, this one didn't dump that much, so I believe the people that are still holding on to it are holders, and they are not just dumping their shit. So I would say anything under 30 cents is a buy. The current recent bottom is like right around 27 cents. That's its very lowest low point. So you might want to put bids down there if you think it's going to dump further, which it certainly could. All right, so that's Axlar. Let's take a look at the next one, Ondo. And Ondo is currently trading at 87.885, and my bid had been at 89. I believe this is showing some weakness. So, you know, I did place an order here at 89, but I got a much larger order down here at the golden pocket, which is like right around 82.5. If that breaks, then the next level down is at 73.5. So I would be putting in orders down there in case this breaks down further. Camino, okay, I really like Camino. You know, anything. Honestly, look at how this thing ripped, and it's coming back down. I could see it coming back down to test this possibly at around 6 cents. But I believe long term this one is going to do very well. So if you're using spot, you know, I would just be buying bits and pieces of this as this drops down. You know, if you're looking at the fib level, then we're looking at like right around 0.05955 would be an area of interest where I would be loading up. And if it goes, and then the next area would be right here at 0.05343. And I'd be surprised if it got down there, guys. But, you know, hey, it's always good to have bids in there in case it does drop down there. You can snap it up. And if it goes all the way back down to the very bottom here, we're looking at 0.04697. So I would have orders in there, guys. Next, Jupiter. Okay, and Jupiter's right now, it's perfectly hitting the golden pocket. And that's like right around, let me pull this up a little bit more. That is right at 42.50. So that would be an area of interest. If it drops down further from that, we are looking all the way potentially down here at around 32.69. That was the very bottom. So I would put some staggered orders in between there and here if you're looking to buy Jupiter. I think if I remember correctly, I got mine at like around 38.50, 0.385. I know I got an order in it down at that level, and I have a few more staggered. I think another one at 35, and then down here on the bottom. I do believe that the risk reward does look good. If we look back here at this inverse head and shoulders, the target price was all the way up here at 90 cents. So if it gets down to those levels, it's looking juicy to me. Helium, this is the coin that I bought a lot more of, guys. I bought quite a bit of this one when it did this dip. As I told you, I'm very bullish on this one. I bought it at 219, which is the middle level of this value zone, and I have orders staggered. So I bought it at 219, and I think it got down to 217, and I had an order there as well where it had bought some. So, and I got orders going all the way down, anywhere between, if this thing drops below $2 to $1.95, anywhere between $2 and $1.80 that would be like an early Christmas present. I mean, super good risk reward ratio there. I do believe that this one will do well. If you're not familiar, this coin has massive connections. It's got a connection with T-Mobile. It's also got a connection with, I think it's AT&T, if I remember correctly. And it's also got a connection with a Mexican telecom. And it is burning. It just recently had a peak in usage, in which it's actually becoming deflationary. I'm very bullish on this coin, and I will be adding to my position as this one goes further. Zeus, as I told you guys before, it still hasn't hit the price target that I was looking for. I think my lower price target on this one was 0.1221 and 0.1108. Anything in there, guys, I think is a great area to be buying it. And the very bottom on this one, it got all the way down to 10 cents. 0.1020 is the very bottom of this coin. You know, you might have orders down there as well, but I am still very bullish on Zeus, and I think it's going to do well. So there you have it. Oh, Bluefin is another one, guys, and as you'll know, Bluefin recently did have a massive rip, and any kind of pullback on that, sizable pullback, I would be buying it up. Let me see what Bluefin. Take a quick look at Blue. And I am looking at the daily chart here, guys. So yeah, Bluefin, it's trading all the way up here right now. And I was telling you guys to buy it when it was breaking down here below. So, you know, right here on this orange level, we have 0.07158. I would be putting an order in down here. You might even have one here at 8 cents, 8 cents, 7.1, and then 0.5756 was the bottom. Anywhere in here, guys, I mean, look at that. It recently went up to nearly 12 cents. So any kind of nice sizable pullback on this one. We can see it's showing strength, even though we experienced that drop. It's up 5%, you know, on today. So this is looking really strong, guys. But I would be putting your orders inside. You know, I would stagger your orders. Start off with smaller orders on the top, and as it drops down, increase your order size, and then just be patient. That's what I'm going to be doing, guys. And let's take a look at this here. So crypto, fear, and greed. This is what I like, guys. Remember, I like to buy the fear. Fools buy the greed. Fear, that is when you buy. So if this thing drops lower and we see it getting into extreme fear, that is when you should be loading up the truck, okay? So this one here, this is crypto alternative A alternative, showing a 28 fear and greed index. If we look at coin market cap, it's saying it's 32. Binance and that one, and coin market cap. Binance did buy coin market cap, so they're going to be the same. And then we're looking at CoinGlass, and CoinGlass is showing 29. So say it's right about here. Yeah, buy the fear, guys. Buy the fucking fear. That's how you win. And you guys can trust me on this one. That is how I won. And I found something really interesting on this article here. And it's talking about, here's the minimum net worth to be considered upper class as a retiree. You know, so what are you at, guys? I found this shocking. So, defining the classes. According to Bo Hansen, a financial planner and co-host of the Money Guy Show, there are 5 broad categories of net worth in America using data from the U.S. Federal Reserve. Bottom 25% of Americans, less than 29,300 net worth. So if you got less than 30K, you're a fucking brokey. Middle class, lower middle class, 29,000 to 209,000. Kind of shocked me. Net worth, okay? Upper middle class, 50th to 75% percentile, 209,000 to 714,000. You would be considered middle class. Upper class, 714,000 to 2.1 million net worth, okay? And wealthy, over 2.1 million net worth. And just so you guys know, 9 years ago, I would have been in the bottom of Americans. Just 9 years ago. And because of crypto, I'm now considered wealthy, which is amazing. But if the market dips further, I could become upper class. But anyways, guys, pay attention. Buy the fear. That's how you win. You don't want to be Chicken Little. I can tell you right now. I have buddies of mine that were with me in the early days of crypto, and they were the Chicken Littles, and they're still working today while I'm kicking it on my sofa, taking rips, living the baller life in Thailand. So, have conviction, act on your conviction, and monger on.